What's good, YouTube? So today I'm bringing an update to my Invoked, Albaz, Blue Eyes deck profile. This time it's going to be a very quick video showing you how to play the deck. I do get a lot of comments saying for combos. Even though I do typically add the combos at the end of my deck profiles, I think some people just don't watch all the way. So this video is just going to be straight into it, straight to the combo, not going over the actual deck profile. If you guys do want to see an update to that deck profile, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what type of stuff you guys are interested in with this specific deck in general. If you guys want to see card by card analysis or more combos or more test hands, again, leave me a comment. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so if you guys can please subscribe. I know a lot of the people that watch my videos aren't actually subscribers, so if you can click the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. So let's just jump straight into it. Again, this is my Invoked Blue Eyes Albaz deck profile. I'm basically going to show you the bread and butter combo, how to lock your opponent out of special summoning anything besides dragon monsters. So it is a very toxic combo, a very powerful combo. It's going to end on several interruptions as well as the floodgate. And in case you are wondering why do the combo, why make it so your opponent cannot play the game, they can't special summon, well, the answer is actually quite simple.
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
So just go ahead straight into the combo. This will be if we drew 3 non-engine cards and then 1 card from the Invoked engine and 1 card from the Blue Eyes engine. We are running 7 Invoked 1-card starters and over a dozen 1-card Blue Eyes starters. So to start off the combo, we're going to go ahead and activate Magical Meltdown. That will be our 1-card starter from the Invoked engine. That's going to go ahead and grab us our Alistair the Invoker. So then we're going to go ahead, normal summon Alistair the Invoker. He's going to go ahead and grab us our Invocation to our hand. From there, we can go ahead, we're going to link off Alistair with our Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Spirit can go ahead, grab us our Mausoleum of White to our hand. From here, we can go ahead, interchange these two, activate Mausoleum, targeting our Spirit. That's going to go ahead and send our first Blue Eyes White Dragon from our deck to the graveyard. There, we can go ahead, activate our Spirit with Eyes Blue. He's going to bounce himself and special summon our Blue Eyes White Dragon. Move these cards over here. So Blue Eyes gets special summon. Now we can go ahead, activate our Invocation. Invocation is going to go ahead and banish our Spirit with Eyes of Blue and our Alistair the Invoker. And that's going to go ahead and grab us our Omni Negate Invoked Macabre. So now we have an Omni Negate / banish. That would be our 4th summon. So we are officially nib proof from here on out. So I know I do get a lot of comments asking, well, what about nib? There's your answer right there. So I'm going to go ahead, do our 2nd normal summon. Thanks to our Mausoleum of White, we're going to go ahead and normal summon our Sage with Eyes of Blue. He gets normal summoned. Go ahead, activate Sage's effect. That's going to grab us our Maiden of White from our deck to our hand. From there, we can go ahead, activate Maiden of White, sending it to the graveyard. That's going to go ahead and set our True Light face up on our side of the field. From there, we can go ahead, activate True Light to go and set our Wishes for Eyes of Blue from the deck. So Wishes get set. From there, we can go ahead, activate Wishes, discarding one of our cards from a hand. Obviously, you'd want to discard whatever card. If you drew a brick, obviously you want to keep the hand traps. Doesn't really matter with this specific hand. We have 3 hand traps. So we're going to go ahead and discard our nib. Wishes for Eyes of Blue is going to go ahead and replace the nib with another hand trapped Effect Veiler and our Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. From here, we can go ahead and banish our Wishes for Eyes of Blue. That's going to attach our Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon from our extra deck to our Blue Eyes White Dragon. From there, we can just go ahead and synchro these 2 off, go into our first extra deck monster, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, put him in defense mode over there. Then we can go ahead and activate our Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. That's going to go ahead and special summon from the deck our 2nd Blue Eyes White Dragon. So we're thinning the deck of our bricks and getting both Blue Eyes White Dragons in our graveyard and in rotation as well. So Blue Eyes White Dragon gets special summoned. From there, we can go ahead, activate from our graveyard our Maiden of White, get special summoned. From there, we can go ahead and link off our Maiden of White with our 2nd Spirit with Eyes of Blue. That way we have 2 dragons on our field, and that will enable us to go into our Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, and this is going to be how we get into our Albaz engine and how we create the toxic dragon lock for our opponent. So I'm just going to flip these 2 over. Obviously, we have 2 blanks. We were able to grab Effect Veiler from our hand. Go ahead and put our Roar over there. So one thing I should have done earlier in the combo, when we had an Invocation after we went into our Macabre, we can go ahead and put our Invocation back into our deck. And that's going to go ahead and grab our Alistair the Invoker back to our hand. So Invocation goes back to our deck, so we can go ahead and utilize it again. Hopefully, after we pass to our opponent, if they don't already rage quit. That way our Alistair can go ahead, normal summon itself, and do the whole thing all over again, going into a 2nd Invoke Macabre. Either way, we have a monster now for our Invoke Macabre, so we can have a Monster Negate / Banish in our hand. We also have Effect Veiler. We have a Bounce with Heretic Seal, which is also going to go into our Dragon Lock. And then we have a Graveyard Negate with Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Who also can go into our Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon after we pass turn. So that's what we have so far. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interruptions. Plus we have True Light, which can bring Blue Eyes White Dragon back, which can also get Maiden of White back. And we also have the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon in the graveyard as well. In case they try and target one of our Blue Eyes monsters, we can negate it and pop a card. So we have 1 Interruption, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Interruptions, plus follow up with True Light, 2 other cards in hand, and we haven't even done the Dragon Lock yet. From there, we're going to go ahead past our opponent. Obviously, if they try and do something with their graveyard, we can go ahead and do this. Hopefully, we can use the Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, because we have to get him off the field because he does prohibit the Dragon Lock, because he does not allow multiple monsters to be special summoned. So we're going to hopefully use the graveyard effect. If not, either way, we get rid of him and go into our Omni Negate with our Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon in defense mode right there. From there, we can go ahead and utilize our Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. He bounces himself, and he special summons a Fallen of Albaz. So Fallen of Albaz is basically a pseudo super poly. He gets to special summon himself. We get to utilize him or one of our monsters, and plus one of our opponent's monsters. And we get to go into a fusion monster. So again, this deck is very meta dependent, and with Malice and Yugioh variations pretty much running rapid and being the top 2 decks in the room at the moment before Justice Hunters comes out. Obviously, after Justice Hunters does come out, we can go ahead and reevaluate the situation. This engine, this Albaz engine, is very meta dependent of knowing you're going to be going against light and dark monsters. Again, so with Yugioh playing a lot of light monsters and Malice running nothing but dark monsters, I feel like this engine is really strong. So if we're going against dark monsters, obviously we want to use Lubellion the Syrian Dragon. If we're going against light monsters, we utilize Albion the Branded Dragon. So we're just going to pretend we're going against light monsters. We can just say it's Yugioh. So Fallen of Albaz gets special summon. He can discard a card from our hand. We can just do one of our blanks. Goes to the graveyard. We can utilize Fallen of Albaz plus our opponent's light monster. Fuse both of those and go into our Albion the Branded Dragon. So Albion gets special summon. Albion can then banish from our graveyard. We're going to go ahead and banish our Fallen of Albaz and our Sage with Eyes of Blue. It requires a spellcaster to go into our Sanctifier. So Fallen of Albaz plus a spellcaster monster. The other spellcaster we have is obviously Maiden, but we want to keep Maiden in the graveyard. So with Albion's effect, we go ahead and banish these 2 monsters. And that's going to go into our Albion the Sanctifier Dragon, which enables the Dragon Lock. So during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target 2 monsters in any graveyard, special summon both monsters, 1 to each field. And plus, this card cannot be effect failured or infinite permanence because of the first line. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. So very super strong. There is a reason this card has been on a lot of people's wish list for becoming banned. I don't think it's going to be happening anytime soon with Branded being not really a deck at the moment. So this gets special summoned. We can go ahead and utilize the quick effect. We can actually put this in the extra monster zone when it gets special summoned. And then we're going to go ahead and special summon our Blue Eyes White Dragon to our field. And then we're going to give our opponent the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. And then in case you don't know, Spirit has the lock. You cannot special summon monsters except dragon monsters. So we give this to our opponent. We also want to put everything, sorry, I did forget to do this as well. You want to put everything in defense mode. When we are special summoning all of our monsters, that is a big step to remember because you don't want them to be able to crash their Spirit with Eyes of Blue. We want them to keep it on their field until they pass turn to us, and then we can beat over it, obviously, after that. So all of our monsters will be in defense mode. They now have Spirit with Eyes of Blue. If they attack into any of our monsters, obviously nothing happens. Afterwards, since Blue Eyes was special summoned, we could also special summon our Maiden of White. So we'll have a full field now. And we didn't have to utilize True Light to get into that as well, since Sanctifier was able to special summon our Blue Eyes. So now our opponent is Dragon Locked. They have this in attack mode. And we have a bunch of monsters in defense mode, a bunch of big beater monsters as well. Over 2,000 attack with a lot of them. Then we can go ahead and utilize True Light to get another Wishes for Eyes of Blue set to our side of the field for a follow-up. So we have Alistair plus Wishes for Eyes of Blue for follow-up, a blank in our hand, effect failure. In case they did try and do something, though, we would most likely send our Alistair with Invoke Macabre to go ahead and negate / banish one of their monster effects. So that's pretty much it. So one of the things you do want to remember is just when you have Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, you cannot do the lock because he does not allow multiple monsters to be special summoned at the same time. So you do want to get him off the field and go into your whatever else you want to bounce him into, honestly, before you go into your Sanctifier and Albion line. So you want to get him off the field. And the other thing you do want to remember is to always set your monsters in defense mode. That way they cannot crash their Spirit with Eyes of Blue into your field. Then obviously when they pass turn, hopefully they didn't special summon or normal summon anything because they pretty much couldn't. Because of our Sanctifier lock, we can, before even doing anything, honestly, setting all these to attack mode, obviously not Maiden. We have 3,000, 3,000, 2,500, 2,500. This would have ended up destroying itself if we didn't use the Omni Negate. Go into Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, put that into attack mode as well. We have a bunch of big body monsters. Super strong combo, super toxic as well. That's pretty much it. That is the Dragon Lock. if you guys are interested in more test hands with this specific deck, or if you want to see an update to the actual deck profile, again, you can go ahead and watch. I do have multiple deck profiles for this exact deck within the past month or so on my channel. But if you do want to see an update, leave a comment in the comments below. Or if you want to see other combo lines or other test hands for this deck, again, leave a comment. I do take requests pretty often, actually. So again, let me know what you guys want. I do listen to you guys. I do usually comment back on almost every comment as well. Again, my channel is very small, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you can, please subscribe if you aren't already. And yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys today, but I'll catch you guys in the next video.